Well, I have to touch it when you're not here.
I have to touch it.
Christian really likes messing up the microphone.
Every
I did not.
single week.
It's just podcasts about hating Christian and having guests on every week. I didn't even listen to last week's. I heard there was some flaming going on. I was getting roasted on the podcast.
Listen,
Is that true?
Before we start, all I'll say
By
is
rock climbing or something?
I just made fun of you for rock
We're
climbing.
already started.
Well, we started.
We're here.
And you got made fun of for rock
Well,
climbing.
okay, what? I need to go back and listen. How did I get made fun of? And why?
Okay, wait. Welcome, everybody. The Baltimorons. We're back. We're back. Sam is leading this week. I'm throwing her right under the bus, even though she's like not okay with it. And we have a guest here, Matt Vetter.
A.K.A. Marty.
A.K.A.
Marty.
Marty.
Yeah, sorry, let's reintroduce. This is Marty Vetter.
Marty Vetter.
Tell us, tell us more.
Well, Tushees is the best spot to squat. We could take care of all your needs from peeing and pooping.
So for clarity, Tushees is a porta-pot business?
Yes, we are a portable toilet rental business.
Portable pot business, just so everybody knows.
Porta potties.
Porta-potty.
Yeah.
Porta pots.
Thanks for clarifying.
I call them
Anyway,
pots.
squatter pots. So now back to the roast of Christian and the rock climbing. What happened was I had asked about the rock climbing because Sam was telling me about Movement, which I've never been to, drive by all the time.
I didn't know it was there.
And she was like, "Oh yeah, no, I climbed to the top of the wall." Christian couldn't get there though. But.
Okay, that's cap as fuck. All right, there are plenty that Sam could not do.
There was
Again,
a lot of stuff I could not do.
and a lot of stuff I could not do either. So I will take that. But it is a lot more difficult than you think. Like rock climbing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there was this one guy. We were talking to him for like 5 minutes. He was like kind of like upside down or some shit. It was wild, and the core strength that and that's just starting. You're 10
I
inches
need
off the
core
mat.
strength. I'm working on it.
And like he's upside down, starting out, and I'm just like, I can't even do that. I tried like 5, 6, 7 times. Couldn't.
It's
hold
your
on at
first
all.
day.
It was. Have you ever?
It's your first day. You're like climbing Mount Rushmore. It's your
I
first
must
day.
know. Yeah, have you ever gone rock climbing, Marty?
Long time ago.
Fake rock climbing.
Fake. Yeah, like you're on the wall.
Yes.
on the wall.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
grip strength. Like
Yes.
spider monkey.
Yeah.
You know what's
See?
crazy? What I didn't know, they didn't have like the spotter and the belay and all that other stuff. I'm like, that's pull me up the wall, please.
I will say, when you get up there, it gets a little scary.
Yeah, Sam said she just like fell.
Well, you just hold up and then you.
When you get
drop
to a
down,
certain
but-
point, you can drop down, yeah. But if you go from the top, it's a long way down.
Damn.
And especially at some of like the angles that you're climbing at.
But we had a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking last week about kind of starting up your business, building your business, and I'm curious because I know literally nothing about Matt's business, Marty's business, right? Marty. How long ago did you start this Papa Squat business?
1 year ago.
1 year ago today.
Okay.
In that 1 year, we have signed the Baltimore Ravens to a 3-year deal.
Damn.
Wow.
We did the Baltimore Marathon and all the running festivals with Corrigan Sports Group. Shout out to Ryan Corrigan.
Ryan, we love you.
We love you, Ryan. And the rest of our business is long-term rentals with home builders.
Okay.
Long-term rentals with home builders. So you're buying the home builder model.
So whoever the builder is, they need a porta-pot for their construction workers.
Got it.
Right.
So if they have a job site for 12, 18 months.
Long-term rentals. I'm in the business
Long-term
and I'm
rental
like,
for
oh yeah,
porta-pot.
rental. No, like porta-pot long-term rentals.
Yeah.
A lot of construction workers.
Is
are
there an
using our
investment
pots.
opportunity here? Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, if you want to get into the dumpster business.
I do want to get into the dumpster business. I actually talked to somebody the other day. Shout out. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to throw them under blast. But we were talking about it. We looked into the cost. We looked at. We want to talk about that.
Tushees dumpsters are coming soon.
Tushees dumpsters.
Yeah, we'll take all your shit, but just not your bullshit.
That's actually pretty good. So I have to know. I have to ask
love that.
though. How did you start Tushees?
How do you come up with that
Because-
slogan?
Because, well, not only that, but like I need to know everything. Just so you know how I found you is I was at a Ravens game and when I was working for 98 Rock.
Going to the bathroom, obviously.
No, actually, there was this big truck that passed me and it said 855 pee poop, and I just started cracking up and I said,
I got one of these
who
cookies.
comes up with this? So tell me how you started it. Like, how'd you get here? It's very creative.
Yep, there's 4 of us. There's Alex Woodall,
got
a.k.a.
it.
the Big Cat. he had the genius idea. He was a little tuned up at Firefly Music Festival.
Dude, I knew this started somewhere with some drinks or something. I was like,
yeah, something. I don't know the whole
Tuned
what
up.
he was on, but he was like, he saw this line,
This is a vibe.
porta-potties. And he just goes, that's it. I'm going to get into the porta-potty business.
okay.
I'm like, you're an idiot. But okay, so there's Greg, my brother Greg, Brian, me, Marty.
Are you the older, or the younger?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Are you all brothers?
3 of us. And then Alex is our 4th partner.
But not brother.
Not a brother.
Not related.
Nope.
He's a brother in dumping, though.
I'll be your Alex. I could be your Doug.
I'll be your dad.
All right, so you're the youngest, older brothers, and they started it 12 months ago.
Yep.
Anybody have a background in business management?
I mean, we ran multiple businesses before this, but not
Outside,
porta-pots.
you had mentioned you had run a salad dressing.
yeah, Tessie Mays.
Yeah.
I was running the manufacturing there for
Okay.
15 years.
You just
Of
like
Essex.
obscure business 101, like salad dressing manufacturing.
Oh yeah.
Any
Whatever it
others? Any others
Okay.
that you were
takes.
into?
We got something coming. We got Quenchers coming. That is a vodka ready to go drink.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Here we go.
Vibes.
Yeah, so we're vertically integrated.
Do you have a character for all of these?
Yeah, just a different version of Marty.
Just a different, version
hat,
of
you're in
Marty.
polo every time.
All right, so I don't know Marty, but I know that Marty's on the koozie.
Yeah, party with Marty.
Party with Marty.
I love it.
Such a cool koozie.
I mean, this is a vibe. Tushees portable toilets.
855P poop.
What's your value prop? Right? So we were talking about starting a business, right? And so one of the things that you have to do when you start a business is anybody?
Business plan.
Business plan, right? And in your business plan, you need mission, vision, and values, right? And conceptually, your values are why someone would choose you over your competitors. So straight to a competitor because I know who they are and I know their value prop. The company, John might correct me, but the company I think was called Got to Go, like one word, but it had like
Yeah, they're lame.
well, I mean, I don't know. But the value prop was that they brought clean, modern, like nice.
Yep.
And what we learned about it is that it's actually 2 businesses. One is their like construction business where it gets beat up and run over and whatever, and the other is their modern business. Basically, what they do is they use Got to Go as their modern like direct to consumer for a event or something where you're going direct to a consumer, and then those get beat up and they recycle them into their construction business. It's like super smart. But what is your value proposition that would be competing with anybody else?
We are the best spot. to
Well,
squat.
I mean, best spot to squat.
We got brand new pots.
Have you talked to my dog? Because I don't know that he would agree.
Who?
My dog.
Your dog.
He's got spots. Bro,
This is the
this
best
guy has the same spot every morning. Just saying.
Well, that's your dog. But okay. So best spot to squat. What else about Tushees?
Yeah, we have brand new pots. So a lot of times you're using.
Tushees.
Sometimes you might have break the seal on the potty.
Sure.
So we have brand new pots. They are clean. Our customer service is number one. You need a pot that day, it's getting delivered to you.
That's a vibe.
Wow.
Yeah, 100%. Because a lot of times, some of our competitors are toothless crackheads that have inherited this business 3rd generation.
For sure.
And
Sure.
we're responsive. You got a problem, we're going to fix it right away. Customer service is where it's at because, again, you can buy a porta-potty
Sure.
from a manufacturer, but it's all about the service. And we have a great team keeping those pots clean. I mean,
Where is Tushees based out of?
So we are in West River, Maryland.
So
That's down near the listing that I had with Daniel Hedler, the land.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Southern
down, like,
Maryland gang.
southern-
Let's go.
Is that still
SoCal.
Anne Arundel County?
Yeah. So
Still is this
Yeah.
the south end of Anne Arundel County? And what's the area that you service?
everywhere.
Everywhere.
We got Baltimore, DC.
Is there such a
Annapolis.
thing as like not licensed to service in like Pennsylvania? I have no idea.
Do you have to have a license for this?
Yeah, you got to deal with the health department.
Damn.
You got to deal with waste hauler permits.
So like,
discharge
is it
permits.
county by county?
Oh yeah.
So are you guys licensed in every county in the state?
It's more about where do you dump. That's what they care about. So it's like if you're
Oh, so you could host an event in Carroll County, but if you dump in Anne Arundel County, you have to be licensed there.
Well, that's
So if
your-
you dump on the side of the road, that's a no-no.
yeah, don't do that.
Just
Yeah,
making
don't-
sure. Just making sure
Well,
we're all
that's-
speaking the
that-
same
that's
language.
What Tushees does,
Yeah, you have
right?
to get
Right.
signed up for the actual dumping sites.
Interesting.
Okay, that makes sense.
Interesting. I'm learning so much. I literally came into this, don't do any research.
And
And
how
Liv's
did you-
like, oh yeah, we have this guy on, he does this. I'm like, I'll figure
How
it
did
out.
you
how
get in
you
the
do it.
door? You said you got a 3-year contract with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. How did you get your foot in the door with the Ravens?
So it's actually through the Maryland Stadium Authority.
Okay.
And so you have to bid on it through the Emma website.
Wow.
So it's like a online Maryland marketplace if you want to work with the state.
That's
Wow.
cool. And so you guys just bid out like earlier this year, and then did you get this past season or are you next season?
This season.
Damn, that's like from the jump. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's really cool.
Love that.
One spot that I had thought of, and I think we mentioned in one of our earlier podcasts, was like First Thursdays in Canton. I don't know how they do that, but there's always one section of that like waterfront area out in the parking lot that has probably 30 to 40 porta potties there. I don't know if that's something you guys would have looked into, but it's certainly an opportunity. And it sounds
will
like you
now.
guys have that capacity.
Preakness, bro, you have to get Preakness.
Yeah, we're going to work on
I
that.
feel like that's a
The
necessary
Fells,
evil.
I feel
Like
like,
Marty running across the top of the
No,
pots.
you can't do that anymore.
Maybe with a helmet
We
on.
stopped that years ago. We stopped that years ago, bro. I remember that there'd be like girls that would get up there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a mess.
it was
That was
wild.
bad.
It was a mess. All right. So back to basics, right? So why start a business here in Maryland? Why not go to Virginia, go to Florida, go to somewhere else? Why did you choose to start it here in Maryland?
Social capital. We're from here. We know everybody here. Went to Towson University, 3 of the 4 partners.
Love it.
That's great.
You just start tapping into your network. And then, it's like somebody you know from 10 years ago. It's like, oh, hey,
Right.
you start a porta-potty business. And guess what? I do events. I'm
Yeah.
a builder. So, yeah, this is our backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's also what we've noticed is the local community.
Yeah.
They call it Smaltimore, right? So
Right.
everyone is coming together. That's what we see. A lot of people are starting businesses here, not just because the local community proximity to everything.
We're a community that supports community, right?
Right.
Like if you start a small business here in Hamden, or you go up to Towson, or you go to even Annapolis. I mean, there's no better local community than Annapolis, right? People live knows only, right? Like people get really defensive and they stand up and they support their community. We're not like a big city that's going to let just some national franchisee come in and make an impact. It's a local impact community for sure.
Yeah, it's important.
I think it also allows like this this quirky, eccentric like way of being allows you to permeate a market that otherwise
Right.
is negligible.
Yeah, it's
Right.
funny. We have people posing with our porta pots. They
That's
go to the,
wild,
They go to the
bro.
Ravens games and they're like, "Oh my God, there's a Tushees."
They get
and
excited.
Like, when do you ever see hot women posing with porta potties?
Or-
It is a vibe.
Or unattractive men, attractive men,
Yeah,
all the people.
Ravens fans,
right?
just some guy that's a little tuned up.
That's a vibe.
Yeah, it is a vibe.
Has anyone played the
Also-
Marty character for Halloween yet?
Not yet.
Oh, that
yet.
would be interesting.
It's coming though.
Yeah.
It has to-
That might
it has
be me,
to
bro. I've got the cowboy hat. I'll get the pit vipers. I'm ready to go.
it's really
I'm ready to go.
Jorts are easy to make.
Yeah, and it's getting to be that weather. I'm just saying. We make this
is.
shit look good.
Let's make jorts great again.
I'm about it.
Yikes. All right, so if you were to give somebody advice on how to start business, how to pick a location, what would your first step be?
I would focus on local.
Okay.
Local. You don't know what you don't know. And so I think it's also important to connect with people who own local businesses. Take somebody out to coffee, pick their brain. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you successful? Because once you start reaching out to people, they're going to take care of you. And they're going to connect you with somebody like, hey, my brother Jimmy, he's in construction. Talk
Yeah.
to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you actively participating in networking organizations or what is that group called? Like you
Like a
pay
BNI?
monthly?
Yeah,
BNI.
just any networking.
Yeah.
Any groups. What are you doing with that?
Yeah, there's a Maryland Builders Association.
Yeah.
There's also a national porta-potty convention.
No, there's not.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. It's out in Phoenix in February. The
Okay.
big cat is going.
Good. Has to represent that.
For clarity, is that you or is that your big brother?
That's Alex Woodall, the big cat.
and that's
That's his nickname.
non-related.
Everybody
to that.
has a
like-
nickname in this organization?
Just Alex and I.
Just Alex.
The characters.
I'm dead. Okay, so you guys are going to network in that way. What other ways do you do networking? What other ways do you do business management? I mean, you can either do check equity. I'm imagining you guys are putting out sweat equity like left and right.
Oh yeah, just hustling.
We got marketing going on right here.
Yeah, social media is huge. Also, don't sleep on these AI tools.
Oh, they're amazing.
Like you go into Chat GPT and say, "Give me a business plan for XYZ," it's going to give it to you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Did it give you 855 pee poop?
That was my brother Greg. He came up
Jeez.
with Tushees. He came up with the vibe. He came up with the phone number.
How old is Greg?
So let's see. He is now. I'm 38. He's 42 now.
Damn.
wow.
Go, Greg.
Yeah.
The
Shout out
Live
to
a little.
Greg.
I
Yeah.
love that.
And he said, "You will be Marty, and you're going to go put those jorts on and parade around town and sell some pots."
Yes, sir. Will do.
That's what happens when you're the youngest.
And you're living in Deal now. Is he also? Are all of you guys living in like the suburbs of Annapolis?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you were originally from Annapolis, you said,
Yep.
right? Okay. What brought you down to Deal?
My wife,
Okay.
Crystal.
Okay.
There you go.
She's from there.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Nice.
And I just like not having neighbors.
That's fair.
I once had a neighbor who tried to fist fight me over my leaves blowing in his yard.
Oh, damn.
that's-
Luckily, we didn't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
He would have got beaten.
And Marty might not be sitting here today, you know?
Jeez.
He'd be locked up somewhere.
He'd be in jail,
Or
right?
something, you know?
Precisely. All right, so when we're starting businesses, we talked about setting up business plan, talked about setting some mission, vision, values. The next piece is anybody? No.
Execution. Like
Capital?
units, like
Marketing.
goals.
There
I
you
guess.
go. Goals, right? What is the goal? And don't say make it the biggest and best. What is the goal of Tushees?
Right now is market share.
I like that.
We
I
are
like that a lot.
stealing market share because
How much market cap is there in Maryland? Like if you were just like to put a number to it, how much is there?
So I've done some research. So the global market on porta-pots is $10 billion. And so what you have here is the DC, Maryland, Annapolis, Baltimore market. And so they're
10 billion.
yeah.
Shitballs.
So
I would have
I have a
never
question in
expected
regards to
that.
that because I've tried to look into like other markets or industries and find out some of that statistics of like how much market share can you really take, and even like
There's a national porta-potty convention. They have the numbers.
well, I get that, but even as like a real estate agent, if we're like, okay, we want to take over the Southern Maryland market, or we want to try and be an agent up here in Baltimore in the top 1%, like how do you measure the market that might be available to you guys?
So we looked at who's in this market competing already.
Okay.
So there's a lot. There's Bobby's, there's Got to Go, there's Walters, there's a whole mess of them.
Yeah.
And you start talking to people and they're like, I got 1,000 pots in the area. And you're like, 1,000? That's good business.
Yeah.
So with DC and Baltimore, I mean, I don't want to say it's unlimited, but the sky is the limit right now.
Yeah.
Like we could just focus on this area and grow for just the next 5 years.
Wow.
Especially with the DC area, it's just so concentrated.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like there's so much that goes on around this area too. The call for having porta potties, whether it's concert venues, like sports
yeah.
events, people out in the field doing whatever down in southern, you know, like
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the market is certainly there, and you have a very like diverse opportunity at providing that service. Like for whatever event it may be, there's so many options out there. So you guys can.
And everybody pees and poops, so it's not going away neither.
Some
things are trends.
trends.
Right? You gotta be careful. The trends
Not
are
number 1 and 2 though.
no, it ain't going nowhere. So those kind of blue collar jobs, you need a dumpster, you need a
Right.
porta pot,
I feel like you're the
electrician,
new
a plumber.
Mike Rowe. Just happened.
The new Mike Rowe.
New Mike Rowe right here.
Let's go.
Yeah. Also,
like it.
because I am huge into AI and I love using ChatGPT, I've been talking to it for a while, and it's telling me, I had no idea. In my head, I didn't really know like what that would look like, but yeah, mid-sized company is 1,000 units basically, and then you have large-scale companies, 20,000 units.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
holy sheesh.
There's some juggernauts out there.
So how many units do you guys have today?
right now, after 1 year, we have 452 pots.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Very good.
Yeah.
And how many employees does that support?
So
Or
we
vice
have
versa.
6 full-time employees right now.
Damn.
Wow.
Good for you guys.
That is really great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
all in 1 year.
to me, the mission of a good, successful business is having people that you're supporting. It goes both ways, right? Like they're working for you, but ultimately you're putting jobs out there. You're creating an opportunity or a need that otherwise is being filled by, like you said, some, third generation just taking it for granted, not really reinvesting into the community. They're just living in the business. You guys are actually creating jobs. You're generating business that otherwise might go to the wayside or go to a big business.
If you call 855-P-Poop, our partner Alex is picking up the phone.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Or he gives you his cell phone. You call him directly. Talk about customer service. Whatever you need, he's got it taken care of.
I think that comes down to what differentiates you from, first of all, marketing is hilarious.
Well,
right?
that's another thing that's really stood out. The marketing that you guys have, especially for a porta-potty. Like, I cannot name another company. I mean, I knew they dropped a few here, but like, that has some sort of crazy marketing that stands out from any other, right? Typically, it's just like, Baltimore City trash cans. They're all green. They have some writing on them, what have you. And that's what I would assume for any other porta potty. But like having koozies and like these hats and like even the logo that you guys have even stands out.
And
that truck that Mike pulled up, that's wild. Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, and that's actually what I was going to ask.
They literally say the best spot to squat.
So
I told you.
Where did you? Okay, so that's where my marketing background. I'm just intrigued. I'm like, okay, so he has, you got the business plan, you've got your goals, and now, okay, marketing. How did you? Was it you and your brothers that were like, let's come up with these funny slogans? Tell us more about that.
Second that question.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to give my brother Greg too much credit. It might go to his head, but he is like a brand genius. And so the only way we were going to get into this is if we had funny branding, marketing, and we could really differentiate ourselves through this, because who cares about porta pots? Nobody.
Sure.
Nobody.
But we're bringing it back. We're bringing the vibe, as you keep saying, to the porta pots, where people are actually posing with our pots.
Yeah.
Right. It's like people are like, "Oh my God, there's a Tushees."
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's a reason to care. But then the other thing is like what you do with that brand and how you bring people together on it. I think the most valuable thing that you brought today is that you're employing 6 people full time. And I'm not saying like they didn't have a job before or you didn't steal that market share from another company, but you're actively growing awareness around something that might be, a huge need. And I think that's where you find big success in business.
Yeah, we've really started a movement here. And one of our drivers was at another company. It was kind of a dead end job, and he got himself a little more money and a better job.
Sure.
Yeah.
So creating opportunities too. And, one of our guys spent 20 years in prison, and he's a man of God now, and he's I'm so glad we have him.
Yeah.
What's up, Chauncey?
There you go.
And he's the man, and I'm so glad he's here. And we got Austin, we got Mike, we got Alex, we got Abby. So we got a good squad.
It just dawned on me, right? Like you guys are in one business, you should be in another one. And I don't know if you thought about this, but I'm sure you have. Have you thought about septic cleanouts, septic evaluation, septic maintenance?
Eventually.
Jeez.
We need the big truck for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that different than the one that you have for?
So ours is like a 900 gallon. You need like the 2,000, 3,000. Yeah, like
Because they're pulling 400 or 500 gallons out per each one.
Because with the porta pots, you're only hauling about 20 gallons at a time. So you can hit 40, 50 stops on the day.
Wow.
Go dump it. But then once you get into a septic, that's a whole nother ball game.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, dumpster, site services, fencing, generators, portable lighting, storage units, whatever you need. So we're going to keep expanding that way as well.
The service line, okay.
And then we're going to start buying up the competition.
Wow.
We're going to consolidate, and we're going to own this market. Because got to go has got to go.
There you go.
Like, what's up, Bobby?
There you go.
Well, I was going to ask, I see Bobby's potties a little bit. Sure, you're cordial with Bobby. Doesn't matter. But so is it easy to buy those up? Or do you buy them up? Do you just take the spots they're in? Like, how does that work?
So right now we are stealing market share.
Okay,
so
right.
We're going to people, and we know that who they're using, and Alex is selling them on Tushees, and our market proposition, which is fantastic customer service, clean, hygienic potties, and little bit of Marty.
Yeah.
Sprinkle that on top. That's just a little
cherry on top.
Cherry on top.
That's right. Okay.
But it really comes down to the responsiveness of the customer service.
Sure.
So you need a potty today, we got you. You need
Right.
a potty tomorrow, it's on the way.
Sure.
Okay.
And then you're just getting up that market share and taking over.
Yeah, like sometimes a potty blows over and it goes everywhere, and we're swapping that out, getting you a freshie.
Wow.
Okay.
There you go. It's wild kind of the way that you grew this from literally nothing in 12 months. How long are you going to give yourselves to take this to the next level before you start really ramping it up? 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 units.
Yeah, I think, again, we're going to get into other things as well. So pots are one thing. Getting into dumpsters will be another. So, we'll kind of approach it that way. But then we're also going to see, like, who could we buy next to just take their business over, and then you finance that through debt, and then you're.
So let's say that you have somebody that you know, right? Somebody that you went to college with, somebody that you know from Deal or Annapolis or something else, and they want to start a business. They're running pop-up shops or they're doing, farmers markets or whatever, and they want to buy a business. What does that look like for them? What advice would you give them?
I would just work on debt financing. You service that debt. So if you're buying a business that's profitable, that's going to pay for the debt, and then you pay that off, and then that's your cash money at the end.
Do you have a bank or a business, like someone that you could give them as a relationship?
I'm working on that. We use Orrstown Bank, but M&T Bank seems to be a great bank.
Yeah.
Local. I think it's all about local. Like,
Sure.
we got to get rid of these mega corporations without soul and focus on local. It's like, you start a business, I'd rather support you than somebody that I've never spoken to before. And it's like Alex is on the phone versus some corporation from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned Orrstown Bank. I've worked with them in real estate, and the way that we got connected in real estate was from another business owner that uses them professionally. So it was like they service a lot of the local need, and so if there's a need, they're creating an opportunity. But one of the best things about it, and I'll give a big shout out to our rep at Orrstown, is that when they can't, they know who you can, right? Like if you call Bank of America, they're like, oh, we don't do that. Right? If you contact Wells Fargo, they're probably going to tell you we don't do that, even if you call the local branch. But Orrstown Bank is connected to other small banks, and these small banks do specific things, whether it's, farm loans or business loans or SBA or whatever it might be, they know where to go. And so it's just reaching out to your local community. If you ever need to reach out for Orrstown, we have somebody as well. So
It's great.
yeah, it's a vibe. Yeah, I mean, I'm tapped out. I got a lot of information here. I think ultimately, what you've done is nothing more than impressive.
Yeah.
I think seeing other people step into your spotlight, whether it's a restaurant or there's a brewery going in right across the street, like I think there's so much opportunity that if you're thinking about it, just reach out and start networking, creating opportunity with all of us.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. Just I'm not going to say this was actually really inappropriate. I'll tell you after. But you got to start somewhere, and your local community is where it's at. Sure. Don't overthink it. It's your backyard.
Yeah.
People. Don't be scared to take that first step, because I feel like a lot of people, they get caught up on the idea of it. Like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I? You got to build a team too.
Yeah.
Something
this ain't
that-
a one-man podcast.
Something that's really funny to me is like you got to start at the bottom and work your way up, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's worse than worse? Poop, right? So you guys literally started at the bottom, and look at what you guys have done. Like you're going to do huge things. I think it's really exciting. I'm going to ask a big question. What can we do to get you into Baltimore? What can we do to get, your next business funded here rather than Southern Maryland?
Yeah, I mean, so for porta-potties, I mean, we are looking to expand. So at some point, we are going to need a yard somewhere.
Sure.
So it's like, who's got some vacant lots that's...
Christian
Actually,
does.
yeah.
Christian
Well,
does.
Christian
In West
like-
River, in West
Down
River,
by
we have
them.
one. Yeah, actually, we do. That's funny.
There you go.
I could call him right after this. Hey, we need a lot. He's like, all right.
See, you got to ask.
He would sell it in a minute.
That's so funny. Wow.
Yeah. You just
And I used to sleep on networking. I don't know how to sleep, but like I was never good at it. I never really liked it. But even just like little things like that, and then doing it in the real estate world or like other people that are out there.
no, it's awful.
It is.
It's
it is
the
terrible.
worst thing ever.
Yes, I do not like it.
But you're unique. Don't look at me like that.
This is like dating in the early 2000s. Literally without Tinder. You gotta
you
put
go
some work
out there.
into
Somebody
it.
should create a networking app. But you go out there and you just get uncomfortable, right? Like, and then you have to be comfortable with it. And you just walk up and you just have to have your couple things to say. I think the problem is, and for so many people, we're the same in this way, is like it's challenging when you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I sell real estate. That's not fun to talk to people about, right?
Like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah. But the funny thing about I sell real estate is the number one thing that people want to talk about at every party, every function, every event is real estate. Like, oh, is the market going up? Is the market going? Like, they want to know what their money's worth. And yet we in the industry get like, a little weird about it. Yeah. So whether you're selling jewelry or sandwiches or hot dogs, like Stuggies, look at what Stuggies did, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're selling something that somebody wants to talk to you, and you just have to get comfortable being uncomfortable talking about it.
Yeah, and like, again, going to your point, like, you don't know what you don't know, and you start somewhere. Like in real estate, when I first joined the team, I was like sitting around following Mike all the time, coming into the office, even before I was licensed, and like listening to his phone calls.
Yeah, Tyler, before he's licensed.
And I was role playing, like scripting and practicing. What should I say? How do I go about certain things? Even before that point. So then, like, when I got licensed, I could hit the ground running, and it's been my full-time job ever since that point, you know?
Yeah, it's like the same concept. It's been freezing cold outside. We're all going a little stir crazy. You got to get out into them streets. You get out of the house, right? And you're going to run into somebody.
Yeah.
You spend enough time in the streets, you're going to just, oh, hey, it's, so-and-so, and what are you up to? And it just, you don't know.
Yeah. At the beginning, going to the gym, it's like uncomfortable. You don't know anybody. But then, like, you don't want to be that awkward person, right? Nobody wants to be that awkward person. But after you see somebody, like, 3, 5, 7, 12, 15 times, you see the same person over and over and over again going to the same networking event. You just walk up and go, hey, my name is Mike. Yeah. And they're like, oh, cool. You come here all the time, right? Like, it just becomes natural.
Yeah. You just chuck them on one of the...
Yeah, right.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. What's up?
I feel like that's how you started the fight with your neighbor, right? What's up? You got some leave problems?
Yikes. What you trying to do, partner?
Right.
That's all you need to do,
partner.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on if anybody's going to be the networker, it's going to be you. What would you say to somebody that's like deathly afraid, horrified of getting out and networking? What would you give them first advice?
I mean, you said it before. It's just getting uncomfortable. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to just walk up to that person. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird, but just getting uncomfortable. I wrote it down because that's how I feel. Whenever you're just walking up, you don't want to be the first person to do it, but someone's got to do it.
Man, I've been to networking things with Sam years ago, and I'm like her plus one. Like she's like, Mike, do you want to go to this networking thing? And I'm like, sure. And she's like, it's all these big businesses in Baltimore, 50 businesses, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm the plus one. She's like, Mike, go talk to that guy. I'm like, yo, like, this is your company, right? This is your organization. But you have to be okay being uncomfortable, right? Like you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. But I think the other thing, and I'm going to speak for Sam here, is you just have to be a little fun. Like, you just have to be like, hey, I'm going to go to this restaurant. I'm going to meet this person. And then you're in that awkward moment with that person. And you're like, hey, do you want to do a shot? Or, hey, do you want to get an egg? Or, hey, do you want to get a cookie? Like, I always want the cookies here and I never order them. Whatever that like extra thing is, just they're thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you just got to be fun, funny, but that even leads to the Tushees, right?
The Tushees.
I have jorts on right now.
You can't see me. I also have jorts on. No, I'm kidding.
But you just got to be fun. You have to be funny.
Let me get a pair of scissors.
We need, just cut your pants right now.
Right now.
Timing.
I would do it.
Liv, do you have scissors over there? But no, just have fun with it. I think that's everything we do in life. It's even in real estate. You got to be a little funny, have a little fun with it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually talking about fun. Last week I went to see this woman present, and she presented on sales pitches. And she's not in real estate. It's a total like how to sell yourself, whether it's to your spouse or to a business or whatever. And one of her foundational moments, she has 7 of them. 7, this many, right? Like 7. I could count. One of hers was, oh, you have to be confident. Oh, you have to be trustworthy, whatever. But then she said fun. You have to be fun. Mm-hmm. And that really resonated with me because I always say that I want to make real estate fun. And clients will look at me like I'm crazy. Like I have 2 heads. I'm like, look, I can't do anything until we get into negotiation. So before that, let's have fun.
Yeah.
And then you can really just I don't know, develop rapport that way too.
As my mom always said, you gotta just be yourself.
That's right.
Be yourself.
Oh my God.
And here's one rule I actually live by when hiring people: can you drink beers with them?
Okay.
Can you see yourself enjoying the opportunity to spend time together?
Right.
Yeah.
It's some more PC. I understand.
Yeah, like,
Same thing.
But like we also have company happy hours and holiday parties, and it's like, do I want to drink beers with these people or not?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be awkward if you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all about that company culture.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I
Culture's
think
huge.
especially when you're growing, that culture becomes important because how you breathe is your driver, how your driver, and if you can't bring them to feel the culture, party with Marty, the Tushees culture, whatever, they're going to deliver to your customer and they're not going to sell the vibe. And your customer's going to be like, well, whatever, off to the next person. Because yeah, you did the sale, but you also need to retain the business. And I name dropped Brightside Boutique, who one of my friends owns Brightside, super successful business. And I love seeing it. But Brightside didn't start as selling really great clothes. They started by selling great clothes with great service and great atmosphere and style. And so people come back for that. They don't come back for clothes. You can get clothes anywhere, right? So it's just how you kind of rebuild and recapture people, I think.
And how do they remember you? Right? Like,
Yes.
are you forgettable or are you unforgettable?
I mean, and
Are you gonna forget my jorts?
I don't think anybody's going to
Probably
forget
not.
anything about Tushees, right? Like,
You can't.
can't even get this hat on over these. But no, I mean, I think we put a lot of emphasis on being professional, wearing a suit, tie, showing up early. And that's like, that's old. That's not today's business. I'm not saying it's bad. And there are a lot of people that impress me when they do that. But it's okay to be a couple minutes behind. It's a busy world. It's okay to have issues going on in your life. There's issues going on in their life. But how they remember you is if you're cursing on the phone, they remember that. If you're setting a bad precedent, they remember that. If you show up in vibes like this right here, they remember that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's very, very important.
I like closing with that being memorable because
Dang.
truly, you got to be.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, Mike, thank you so much for hosting today. Because Mike pulled through with the host clearly. So.
I always want to help us out, but I love promoting other businesses as well. Speaking of promoting other businesses, if you haven't already, make sure you register for the trolley tour in 4 days. Christian's going to be there. I will be there. I think everybody from our team will be there.
Yep.
It's a great way to learn about real estate, learn about how to get yourself started in the industry, getting yourself started into buying your first home or buying an investment property. There's a lot of great people there, and Live Baltimore does a fantastic job as a nonprofit organization. You can always reach us for our home buyer brunches that are coming up in 3 weeks.
February
I think.
22nd.
There you go, February 22nd, and we have a seller seminar coming up that same day as well.
Yep.
If you need anything, you can always reach out to me on frankoliverco.com or on Instagram at michael.frank_____. Yeah, it's really long. It's really long.
It's a real tough one.
Anyway, how can they reach Tushees?
855 poop.
855 P poop. It's
Or-
like impossible to remember, to forget.
You go on our website. We have a form. You can hit up Big Cat,
I've been on your website. What is the website?
or you can go to our
Got Tushees.
Instagram, gotushees, or the @ gotushees. You see Marty being
Okay.
Yeah. Sam,
his deal.
how can people reach out to
Sammy
you if they
Burr,
want to?
or for marketing advice, of course, or the Baltimorons. Follow us there.
Yep.
New
Heck yeah.
new Instagram page. So
Oh yeah.
And you can always get to Christian
And you can find me at Christian the Deadhead on Instagram.
on Instagram.
Always.
go Marty, pee poo poo.
Woo! What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.